Content warning. Christianity, fast-moving patterns, flashing images, violence. You know about Koei, right? You might know them best from their Dynasty Warriors series of games, but their history goes much deeper than that. They've had their hands in many games and genres over the years, even supposedly created the genre of JRPGs. But that's a story for another video. For this one, we're going to take a look back at one of their strangest titles, Chrith, Journey of Love. Chrith's Journey of Love was developed in 1984 by Koei for the PC 6001 MK2, a part of the PC 6000 line of computers from NEC. Despite being developed by Koei, the game says it was produced by Comics, so where does that name come from? Well, Comics was a brand by Koei that they had around the time of this game's release. They would go on to release a couple of games under the brand, but quickly shut it down, though there's no official explanation why that I could find. From reading the back of the game's manual, you could see some of the pretty extreme claims they made about the game. People are suffering, waiting for a helping hand. Christ, only you can save them. A new type of spiritual world game that casts ripples in the desolate action game world. Once you play it, you will not be able to hold back your tears. From the melancholy of its Christian themes, 1984's most emotionally moving work, Chrith, Journey of Love, releasing as part of the Comics line this fall. Does this game live up to these claims? Well, let's look at the plot in the manual to get an idea of what they were going for. Now, I know very little about the biblical version of the story of Jesus' life, so I'm just going to go by what the game's manual says. Chrith was born as the son of farmers on the planet of Lords. The farmers of Lords were poor, and the king was ruthless. Their only hope was a prophecy from long ago. As said by Saint Dalinus, a child will be born with light. During a time of great evil, that child will set out on a journey to cleanse Lords of its grief. This year was terrible. It was truly astonishing. Crops were destroyed due to extreme weather, and tyranny reigned since the crown prince became consul. Then one day, as Chrith walked in despair through the destroyed land, he was suddenly wrapped in a bright light and received a divine revelation.
Christ, my child, save those who are suffering. I will give you a holy staff. Cast on them the light of love. However, you must never fight.
After the light went out, a staff was left for him. Chrith took the staff in his left hand and began to walk the path towards a cruel salvation. So even not knowing much of the biblical version of the story, I'm pretty sure they took a couple of liberties with it. The in-game version of the story removes much of this background, leaving only the scenes where Jesus receives his message from God. Through this scene, the connection to the gameplay is constructed. Heal all injured he comes across while avoiding evil. God then tells him this is his final mission, and we're thrown to the title screen. But before that, let me show you a clip of the scene. There's voices in this game. A special feature of the PC 6001 MK2 was that it had a voice synthesizer, so every line of dialogue in this game is actually voiced. Pretty impressive, but the voice synthesis can sound a little garbled at times, making it hard to understand. Fortunately, it also put the text at the bottom. Another interesting piece of information, throughout this game, whenever referring to Christ in English, it's mistranslated as Chrith. I decided to keep it in since I think it's cool. Now with all context out of the way, let's move on to the actual game. The game intro effectively introduces you to what you have to do. Heal people and avoid evil. This takes the form of an arcade auto-scroller. You play as Chrith on the lower part of the screen as he slowly moves along. You can move around the right half of the plane, but it's very stiff as diagonal movement is not allowed. Oncoming are enemies and the people you must heal, which you do by walking over them and pressing space to heal them. While you can press it when you walk over them, you can also just hold space down to cast your healing powers at all times with no penalty, so there's not much reason to have it as an action. Various enemy types are scattered across the levels, such as soldiers, snakes, guillotines, and of course, the devil. Every enemy just stands in place to be avoided, except for the devil, who appears in every level after the first one. The devil will appear at random and drop down fire on the player. It sounds similar to the other enemies, but its difficulty comes from how it tracks the player, which combined with the stiff controls makes for a stressful situation. This is in addition to how hard it is to discern which part of the plane you're on, since it could seem you're touching an enemy to the point your sprite overlays onto them, but you're not, and it takes a while to get used to. While dealing with all these obstacles, you have to heal 50 people to be able to move on to the next level. If you're lucky, God may drop down a power-up that heals everyone on screen. You get 3 chances per level, where if you touch an enemy, you lose 1, in the form of praying to God in increasingly desperate pleas. And that's pretty much it. The backgrounds and enemies may change each level, but it's essentially the same experience each time. Even then, the changes only last to the 10th level, to where it then just repeats the same sequence of levels. The gameplay is enjoyable for a bit, but quickly loses its appeal due to its stiff controls. Ultimately, there's little fun to be had with Christ's journey of love. Despite this, within its gameplay, I'm surprised how much of the story and themes remain intact. There's the obvious translation of God's mission of saving the people and avoiding evil to the gameplay itself. The auto-scrolling serves to reinforce the theme that this is a mission Jesus must go on. There's no time to turn back. The grand journey this must be is represented in the changing background, with the majority of the screen being the sky where the devil or God are always watching over you. While it vaguely hits these points, its themes fall apart in that this repeats every 10 levels, robbing its meaning to have more game time. Especially strange since the choice of enemies in the 10th level are guillotines and the devil, a particularly final choice for the last distinct level. Again, as I have little knowledge on Christianity, there are possibly extra bits of symbolism or information I'm missing, especially in the backgrounds, where there are at times what looks like a needle through a huge eye, pyramids, and whatever this is. Since there's not much to get out of its plot or gameplay, Christ's Journey of Love's value comes mostly from its novelty as a Christian-themed PC game from Koei. I didn't experience the most emotionally moving game of 1984, and I didn't cry like the back of the manual said, but I would be lying if I said I didn't have an interesting time learning about this game, and hopefully y'all did as well. Happy holidays, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me on Patreon or Ko-fi. Patreon is if you want to support me monthly, and Ko-fi is for one-time support. These videos wouldn't be possible without the generous support of my patrons and Ko-fis. Any amount helps this channel keep going. Anyways, here's my Twitter, my Instagram, my channel link if you want to subscribe, and some other videos I've made. Well, that's all I had to say. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you around.